Hi, welcome back to Real Talk with INCODA. I'm your host, India Wilson. Today, our guest is the beautiful Deborah Jay Kelly. Deborah is a celebrity access fashion show presenter and red carpet host with a career spanning some 20 years with 80 awards to her name, including recognition of her work in the field of cultural diversity. She has won a beauty pageant at the age of 54 and is changing the way the industry views older women. Deborah launched the book, Models Diary UK, Beauty and Diversity Comes in All Shapes and Sizes, which has skyrocketed to #1 in the bestsellers internationally. She has also addressed issues that the fashion industry is currently facing, such as COVID. Deborah also works in reality TV. She's an actress, host, presenter, model, dancer, beauty school owner, IQA assessor, and international trainer. She's also a VIP pageant judge. Deborah is also an excellent role model for the confident older woman, and she has her own beauty show, offering quick tips for hair and beauty. She also trains upmarket spas internationally in beauty. She has also worked as a part-time model, dancer, and actress since the age of 17 years old.
Hello, first of all, and it's lovely to speak to you, and well, albeit virtually, but it's lovely to speak to you and your audience. And yeah, I mean, my career started at 17, and I was quite lucky because I always knew what I wanted to do. I always wanted to be in media, and I think it's always helpful if you know what you want to be and where you want to go, and I did. So I was lucky enough to get involved with as a junior in a newspaper, and then from there I progressed on to magazines, national magazines, newspapers, radio, TV, and so forth. So I went through the whole kind of media genre and really gained that experience that I needed to gain to start my own advertising agency, which I did at 30, the age of 30. Wow. And so I was able to take lots of clients with me who were loyal, and they came with me, and I had a very successful advertising agency. We had a lot of successes. I was responsible for the 0891 numbers, which were very new in those days. And we put together these concepts of winning a holiday, and TV needed to fill their spaces. They had, spaces available that weren't sold. So we filled those, and we integrated the whole thing with 0891 premium numbers, which still happens now to this day. But it was an incredible success. And going back to sort of my day, it was Good Morning. They don't do it anymore with Anne and Nick. It was Stars in Their Eyes, all of these programs that embraced it at the time. And it was a unique concept. And it was, it was amazing. And then from there, I'd always been sort of in the background, really, of TV and media, and doing the networking, doing the PR, all of that kind of thing. And then I think one day I just got the opportunity to be in front of the camera, and it doesn't faze me. It's that difference between freezing up when you're on camera and acting like you're natural. And for me, it was just something that came naturally. I was natural. And so it was a progression, really, from there that I started to get involved in lots of TV shows and producing those shows in the background as well, and voiceovers and so forth. And then from there, it led to what I do now, which is red carpet interviews and appearing on shows on the stage, and I present a show. So from beginning to end, I put it together and I host and present fashion shows, charity events, so many different diverse events, and that's really where I stand now. So for me, my real kind of mission and passion in life is unity, and integration of diversity and culture. So yes, I mean, it was great. And I mean, I don't know if I can say this, but I know we met 3 years ago, and I came out to Houston, and I did the red carpet for the Mus diaspora, I think it was, US. And this is the thing about embracing every culture and every creed, and I'm never tired of it. It's always something which I will continue to do until I can't do it anymore, because I think it's so important to put out there, that there are a lot of us that really do sort of see everybody for what they are, from their heart and from their soul, and not from the colour, or where they were born or whatever. So I mean, I'm really, really pleased and thrilled that I'm able to do what I do.
Yes, and you do it very well. I love how you have that. I've seen several of your interviews, and I love how you have that gift of disconnecting instantly. Someone can just walk up to you, and you have that gift of where you can almost read their personality. And you I know when you interviewed me out in Houston, Texas, at the red carpet for that event, it's like you just instantly connected. It's like, wow, it was my first time meeting you in person, and you just instantly connected. And I was just relaxed, just like that. And I was like, wow, she's wonderful, at what she does.
Thank you.
And all of, how you started, from 17, what was your greatest obstacle and how did you overcome it?
Oh, gosh, I think, we're talking here about connecting with people. And I think it's important for me to explain that when people around you don't support what you're doing, and they don't believe that you can achieve, then often this can, distract you or stop you from achieving your goal. And if there's one thing that I can say to anybody now starting on their career, is that if you believe in something so strongly, then you have to do it. And it doesn't matter what people say. Often, if you tell people that love you around you, they have all these different feelings, emotions, their experiences, sometimes that can dilute it. My advice is, if you want to do something, just do it, and actually keep quiet about it, because often people that you love the most, maybe they don't understand, maybe their experiences are different and they care about you, so they want to look after you. But for me, the greatest achievements have been things that I've done myself without telling anybody. I've literally, I call the word manifested, because I really believe that. So we can, through our power of our mind, we can manifest. And if we really believe that strongly, then we can achieve. Now, I've talked about this loads of times. I was sick, very sick. I mean, there's pictures of me that are out on the internet, and, I'd rather them not be there. I mean, they're just horrendous. And I suffered for nearly 10 years. I was very sick. I was in intensive care twice. I think it's important to share this because, out of our life experiences, we can grow. Or we can go two ways. We can learn from our experience and we can grow, or we can, stay in that kind of situation where, we were ill and we don't believe that we can go further. And there was so much going on, and everything around me, I believed that I could never achieve what I wanted to do, and I'd written off my whole kind of goals and my ambitions. And then it's so hard because, you know, I'm reliving it as I'm speaking to you. It was a long process. It wasn't easy. And, you know, I hit my downs, depression. I got through all of these things. I'm sure lots and lots of people that are watching this have been through, where, you know, you just can't see the light. You can't imagine yourself getting back up there. And it is something that you really have to work with so hard. And fortunately, by the grace of God, I actually started to become better. And I had this whole list, you know, because I'm always told in manifestation to write a list. And I had this list, you know, of things that I wanted to achieve. And I'm thinking, okay, what are the barriers? I'm older now. Am I still able to achieve this? You know, am I this? Am I that? What's the problem? La, la, la. And in the end, I just thought to myself, you know what? You've got one life. And it's entirely up to you what you do with that life. Unfortunately, I was ill for a very long time, and I feel like I wrote off a lot of that life, but I can't take it back. It is what it is. It's there. It happened and it's gone. Now is the future. Well, actually, it's now. It's the present. That's the most important thing. It's not really the future, because you don't necessarily know what's going to happen in the future, but you can live in the now. And for me now, you know, I made lists and I stared at them. You know, I said, right, okay, this is what I want. This is what I want. This is what I haven't achieved. This is what I've got to do. And I think it's always important to have those lists and to aspire to something that you really want to do as well. You know, you've got to have those kind of dreams and aspirations for the future.
Wow, that's quite motivating. Yes, it's very important, especially for, you know, young people that are starting out. And that's, your words of wisdom is great for them to know. It's important to have some kind of guide, like you said, a list. And that's very important. So are there any resources or advice that you receive from others that help you, you know, throughout your journey?
Yeah, that's an interesting question, actually, because I would say that I was looking a lot for other people to help me and to guide me. And I felt like I was disappointed, you know, if I couldn't find that information, or if somebody let me down, you know, in what I was looking for. And I realized that the only person that is responsible for you is you. And so what happened for me, I look for resources, for things to inspire me, to keep me uplifted, to keep me aware of my goals. And very much, you know, without getting into it too much, I really believe in the law of the universe. And people don't often ask for what they want. And certainly they kind of sometimes, you know, we dwell on the negative, you know, on the things that have happened to us. And we've all had experiences, we've all had negative things, and it's hard to get back on top of things. And so for me, what really inspired me was using affirmations and making lists, which I put in front of me so I cannot forget. So when I start thinking negatively, I look at that list, and it's about motivating yourself to believe, because this is something I used to say like 20 years ago to people that I used to coach. And, you know, sometimes I forgot it for myself. Money doesn't care where it goes. It doesn't discern. It doesn't say, oh, well, I'm going to go to this person, or this. Success doesn't discern who the person is. You know, out there are so many thousands of people that you look that have success, they have money, they have wealth, they are happy, and they have this kind of, you know, we need to look at how they've actually gone about achieving this. And the one thing that I have learned from them is to not take, how can I say, you know, you might go to somewhere and somebody says no to you, and you really take it to heart, and that puts you off, so you don't do it again. And so my thing is that there will always be people that will say, you know, no, you're not good enough, you're too old, you're too experienced, you're not that experienced, whatever. And so my advice really would be just to keep going. And if you believe in yourself that strongly, then you must motivate yourself all the time to say that these knockbacks are just a step to achieve what you need to achieve, and that really everything is perfect timing. So when that time happens, it will be the right time. I don't know if that makes any sense. You know, it's hard to explain, but that's, you know, that's my philosophy.
Yes, it makes a lot of sense. Yes, timing is important. And, you know, it lets us know that we have to be patient, and everybody doesn't receive their gifts or talents at the same time, at the same age. You know, some of us may receive it in our youth, middle age, older age. And, you know, there's no timing, and we just have to, like you said, you have to prepare. You have to like pray. You have to like, like what you do. You said you do affirmations, you know, to like keep in mind, like, okay, this is what I want, and this is what I need to do to get that. And you need to carry out those steps, you know, to where you want to be in life. So could you share with our audience, like, your biggest accomplishment in your career so thus far?
Oh, okay. So I think right now, because there are lots of things that I think, you know, I'm proud of, certainly stepping out of the box and going for what I really want to do rather than what is safe for me to do. So, but right now, the Model Diaries, and here it is. And the reason that I am saying this is because I stepped outside of my comfort zone with this. This wasn't something that I had any experience in doing. You know, I'm not an editor. I have published books, but they were educational books. So this for me was something completely different. And the reason that I'm so proud of it is because for me, I want to make a statement and I want to leave a legacy. This is really important to me for embracing women and men of all cultures and creeds, every size, every shape. You know, everybody is beautiful. And I felt like the fashion industry really needed this because I've been in it for a very, very long time, and it can be very superficial. And so, yeah, I mean, you know, I'm looking at people on the catwalk and they're all my friends and they are lovely, but they're all size 0. You know, they're all skinny. They've got no, like, you know, nothing. They're like clothes horse. And for me, I wanted to make a difference. And I feel like maybe at my age now, people listen to me a little bit more when I put together something like this. So the Model Diaries really is not, I mean, it says models, but it's all different women and men that have experiences. So we've got entrepreneurs, we've got, you know, fashion designers, we've got actors, actresses. So they're not your classic models. And I put them all out there and I dressed them up and I made them look fabulous, because why shouldn't, you know, why shouldn't they be fabulous?
Yeah.
And they got their stories. And so, and it was the #1 bestseller. So I'm actually putting together the Kindle version as we speak. And
Congratulations.
I'm kind of, you know, we've done a boudoir section, which is like, oh, you know, boudoir. It's classical, classy boudoir, you know, nothing other than that. But the women in it are, you know, are all different shapes and sizes, all different ages. And I feel so passionate when I'm actually writing it. You know, I can't explain this passion that I feel in my heart. And I guess this is the way that we know, you know, when we're doing something that really resonates with us.
Yes.
If we feel really, really passionate about it, I don't care whether it only sells 10 copies. Fortunately, it's actually become a bestseller. I mean, it's incredible, and that's more than my wildest dreams. So that's given me the inspiration now to carry on. and to do more and more and more, because I think that the fashion industry needs to change, and that's my passion.
So where can our global audience get a copy of this amazing book?
Well, it was available in some of the, like WH Smith's, but because of the lockdown, there was problems. I don't know if they're opening soon or not, but this is actually at the moment you can buy it on the Amazon international network, so amazon.co.uk or amazon.com, and you can look up Deborah Jay Kelly, and then it comes up with all of my books, including this one, and you can buy it. But I'm actually just producing, as we speak, the Kindle version, which has some extra footage. So I'm going to do, it's kind of 10, maybe 15 extra pages in there, which is going to be boudoir. And boudoir meaning classical, classy boudoir, with older ladies and, bigger ladies and so forth. So my whole message really which is what I said, beauty comes in all shapes and sizes, and all diversity, all colours, creeds, and yeah, so I'm quite excited about it, really.
Okay, knowing that you're in your amazing 50s, Shara, let us know, what do you have planned for yourself within the next 5 years? Where do you see yourself?
Ooh. Wow, that's a good question. It's a funny old thing, because you don't really take any notice of how old you are until you start getting really old. And then when you get really older, you think, oh my God, am I really that old?
Yeah, it's like it came, so it's kind of like sneaks up on you. It's like, what happened? It's like, then you have to go to your old photos.
And my mother said to me, no, you're 54. And I said, no, I'm not. She said, you are. And I'm thinking, oh my God, really? So I'm nearly 55. But I don't feel it. Well, apart from my my knee up and my shoulder and all of these things that obviously come with, as we get older and so forth. But I don't feel it in my mind. I still feel like I have so much more to achieve. So I would say in 5 years' time, I would like to have, because I've been commissioned for a 7 series of books for the Model Diaries. So I would like to say that I really make a statement and a change. That's what I want to do. I want to make a legacy. So I would hope by 55 that I would have this legacy behind me, really promoting the fact that women and men of all shapes and sizes, colour, culture, that we can all come together and celebrate, what we are. It doesn't matter how big we are, how small we are, what colour we are, what age we are, and that's what inspires me. So I guess that's really my mission.
Wow, that's a beautiful mission. I'm seeing how beautiful you are. Could you share some of your beauty tips with us, beauty and health tips?
I don't know about that, but yeah, I mean, I run a beauty school, and we kind of advocate so many things. I've got my own skincare range called Celebrity Red Carpet Skincare, and it's a lot of it is vegan. And I produced it really because I have an allergy to animals, and a lot of products have got like derivatives of animal and all sorts of carcinogenic things in it, of which we don't know. And that's why I wanted to investigate it, because a lot of what I was putting on my skin, I was reacting to it. And, there's so many allergies. This is going back to when I was, really ill. So I launched this skincare range, and it's very simple. I use it. And so I would always look at doing something natural. So we have machines here at the Angel Academy of Teaching and Training. And they are machines that anti-age you, without the cosmetic surgery, because that's quite scary. And I know a lot of people do it, but you have no idea what the results will be. And, obviously it's dangerous as well. So we have lots of machines, and every so often I'm lucky enough to get on them. I mean, not always, because most of the time the students are training, but sometimes I get to use them. So, you know, exercises, facial exercises, looking after your skin, you know, eating properly, all of these things are so natural and normal for healthy skin. But then, of course, we've got all these other surgical procedures now that have come on board. And so I think it's going to be very difficult in years to come to really tell how old somebody is, because there's so much available now. You know, some good and some not so good.
I love hearing that you're taking the natural approach. You know, that's really helpful to, like you said, individuals that have allergies and things to that effect. And with all the pesticides and other things that are going into our foods, and
Terrible.
we don't know what they're putting, like you said, in makeup now. And so it's great that you're taking the natural approach to like help calm, you know, a lot of the negatives that are in things that we put in our body and on our skin.
Yeah.
So I really applaud you for
I think
that.
the thing is, we don't know, because, you know, when you look at a bottle of something, it's packaged up and it's labeled where you don't understand it. And it took me a very, very long time to understand the ingredients in these products and what they were and what they were really doing. And some of the products are really, really horrible. And, you know, if you knew what they were, when I show my students, I say, well, this is this and this is what this is, you know, they're like, oh, and they're gasping because they had no idea what those products were. And this is the thing, you know, we're not really being told about the ingredients, you know, of the things that we're putting on our skin.
Yes, because when you actually pick up a product, a lot of us, we don't know that on the front is the entertainment. That's why they have something to entertain you, like a beautiful picture or whatever. But when you turn on the back, that's the information. And if you go look at the information, which is in the ingredients, like you said, some of the names you can't even pronounce. And so you have to actually look them up and you're like, wow, I'm consuming this, or I'm putting this on my skin. But when you go natural, you're like, okay, this is just chamomile, or this is just tea tree oil, or this is just like sea moss. It's like, you know what you're consuming or what you're putting on your skin is natural. Like a lot of vegans will say, if you can eat it, then it's great to put on your skin, because what a lot of people don't realize, what you're putting on your skin is still going into your body. So you have to make sure, you have to think like, can I consume this? It's like, okay, well, maybe I should do an oatmeal facial, since I can consume oatmeal, or an avocado facial, since I can consume an avocado. So I love your approach to the natural way of doing things, and just like being more informed about what we're putting in our body. Can you share with our audience how we can support, they can support you, how we can support you better, you know, in your endeavors?
Oh, thank you. Well, I'm Deborah Jay Kelly. So I mean, if you Google me, I'm found, you know, there's quite a few different pages and links. I've got a website, deborahjkelly.com, and I've got another one, which is the www.celebrityredcarpetskincare.com, and then I've got the Model Diaries.co.uk. I mean, there's quite a lot, to be fair, because I really, you know, I'm quite active out there. So
yes, you're quite the entrepreneur.
I just, you know, I love what I do, and I also love humanity. And
Wow.
I think, you know, it's very different when you look at humility, and, you know, you try to kind of appreciate everybody for what they are every day and thank them and stuff like that, which is really what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to be the yes person now that lockdown, well, hopefully we're getting, you know, less restrictions. I adopted this issue about 3 years ago, and it worked so well. And I decided to be the yes person and to just say yes to everything, within reason, obviously, but, to be positive in what I did and to say, yes, okay. And some of the most wonderful achievements and experiences happened from saying yes. So I've decided now, because it's been such a blimmin' horrible time, it really has been so difficult for all of us. And I've got, I've had an operation, so ongoing health issues and so now we're sort of look like, we're coming out of it a bit and the sun is shining. I've just decided now, okay, all right, so gratitude, say thank you, be appreciative and say yes within reason, obviously with my capability. And I think sometimes that really changes things, when you kind of step outside of your comfort zone, some of the most amazing things can happen.
Yes, and having that attitude of gratitude is just wonderful.
Yeah, I think it's really important. And I'm not sort of sitting here saying, yeah, I know everything. I don't. I've been through some real downers myself. And when you're down, it's really hard to pick yourself back up. And yeah, I mean, everything around you, it doesn't matter what somebody says if you're feeling really down. But I think if you can pull yourself up in those moments that you've actually managed to pull yourself up, I think you've got to really be liberated and you've got to go for it. And, this is the thing. I mean, I make notes. I've got like notes in front of me now. And every morning I get up and I might have a negative thought, oh, God, another morning. And then I look at my notes and I remind myself what I'm going to achieve actually, and where I want to go and where I want to be. And they remind me, because sometimes, we can be taken away with all different. I've got so much going on in my life at the moment. There's so many health issues with family. And so we can always say that this is difficult. And I'm not saying that it isn't. I have to keep returning back to my goal, because I really believe that, we have the power if we can keep our mind focused on what we want to achieve and keep it focused over a period of time. And then, of course, you have to act, don't you? You can't sit still. I mean, you've got to make those actions. But if you do it, I believe it's there for you. And we can continue doing this until we can't try anymore.
Yes, I love your positive outlook on things. It's like just continue to persevere and keep yourself surrounded with positive people, energy, and things. And it's like you're going to continue to be phenomenal in all your gifts and talents. It's like I've seen you on the walkway. I've seen you do interviews. I've seen a lot of your talents. And it's like doing more research, it's like that's how I was like, wow, I didn't know that she wrote a book. So that means that I have to get a copy.
Oh, I
so
sent you one.
that I can, experience, that other part of, your talents. And it's amazing when we sit back and think, it's like, wow, I've been gifted all of these talents. It's like, it's like that's so much to be thankful for. And to inspire you when you're feeling down, it's like, wow, I have all of these gifts. And that should be motivational for you as well. To some people aren't blessed, or some people are blessed with just one. And some people may have a gift, but not be able to tap into that gift.
Yeah.
But when you strong mind and strong willed, and you're motivated to bring out the best in you, like that quote of that Bible scripture inspires me. And like you said, your different affirmations, when you see them, they inspire you to stay grounded, stay motivated, and to continue on your path. So can you leave some beautiful words of wisdom for our global audience?
Oh, well, I think, I'm just listening to what you're saying. And I think that, sometimes life just takes over and we forget who we are. And we forget the power that we have in us, and also those aspirations. You know, you think back to childhood. What do you want to be when you grow up? And we always had something, didn't we, that we wanted to do when we were going to grow up. And
Yes.
these were our dreams. And then somehow life, you know, with all of its abundance, takes over. The survival, you know, being able to pay for living, you know, family and our children and everything else. And before we know it, we forget, you know, we forget those talents actually that we had, and also those dreams that we had. So I think it's never too late, and that's where I'm standing right now, you know, nearly 55 years old. And people say to me, why do you say how old you are? You shouldn't say it. And I say, well, because I want to embrace it, and I want to inspire women as well to say that, you know, whether they be 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, whatever age they are, it's never too late. And if there's something in you that you always wanted to achieve, you know, something, a passion in you, then it's there. It's a passion, it's alive, it's a spark in you. And so, you know, we must never let those things go. And but also timing, I think, is you know, I thought to myself, well, why didn't I achieve this, you know, when I was 35? I mean, why have I got to get to 55 to achieve this? Everything has its time, and God has his time, and
Yes,
you
indeed.
cannot rush his time. So whether you think, oh yeah, you know, I want it all now and I'm 30, which of course I did, everything has its time. So we just have to embrace it, and we have to go with it. But my real message to the audience is that, you know, if they're watching and they feel inspired, if they think, oh yeah, you know, I remember I used to want to do that, or oh, I've got a talent in this, but you know, it's not going to go anywhere. That everybody needs to be given that chance to actually express that talent, and to believe that that talent is going to go somewhere as well, because I think belief has a lot to do with it as well. You know, don't let anybody tell you, oh, you're too old. No, you haven't got enough experience. No, you haven't got an A-level degree. Which really, you know, this is all the things that I had when I was younger. You can't be a journalist because you haven't been to, you know, to university. You haven't done this. And then now I get to this age and I think, well, what does that matter? You know, I'm really good at what I do, and it's natural for me. I might not have a degree. Well, I do now, but, you know, at the time I didn't. So let's just go for it. And that's my advice to your audience, for whoever is listening to this. You know, don't listen to all those, you know, all those voices that are telling you that you can't. And also, if you want to manifest something, my best advice to you is keep it to yourself until it's really there, because sometimes people will tell you reasons why you shouldn't do it, or maybe it's not going to work. So keep it to yourself, manifest your goal, get it right out there. Like the model diaries, I didn't tell anybody, and then all of a sudden it became #1. Now I can tell everyone.
Yes.
Because it's #1. So, you know, so sometimes the power actually is in keeping it to yourself and following your direct goal and your direct path.
Wow, beautiful words of wisdom. I don't want to add to that because it's exactly, you know, the perfect, you know, ending point. And I thank you for this interview, and our global audience out there. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button. And thank you so much, Deborah Jay Kelly, for your sharing your time with us, and, you know, all the different talents and gifts that you were graced with. We at INCODA, Real Talk with INCODA, truly appreciate and thank you.
And you too. And it's lovely to see you as well. Inspirational, another incredibly inspirational woman. And, you know, I wish you all of the luck for the future with what you've got planned.